Hello, and welcome to the Loveology podcast, where we talk about love and life with laughter. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jason.
He's the carefree one.
She's the serious one.
And we're married.
We have been since 2012, and we like to think of ourselves as a couple of loveologists.
Not because we are the experts, but because we just love love.
We enjoy studying and talking about it, so we thought, let's just start a podcast.
A place where we can share what we have learned about love, relationships, and marriage.
You can share what you've learned, and we can all grow together.
So here we are. Are you ready?
Let's get started. What's going on, Loveology podcast listeners, aka
Hi.
Loveologists?
Hi.
How y'all doing?
Hi, everyone.
What's up, baby girl? Got my co-host on the mic.
What it
1 2
is?
1 2. Ashley, Jason. This is a Loveology podcast coming again. Yes, it is. I hope y'all ready for this one. I hope y'all read the title. Y'all ready for this one?
Yeah, we want to have some fun today.
Let's have a little fun.
Well, excuse me, we have fun every time. But this is something that we don't typically do, so this is different.
We're going to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, since it's trending, right?
Mhm.
Number one show on Netflix. Love is Blind.
Yeah.
Love is Blind.
Love is blind,
Oh, come on.
and it'll take over your mind. Yeah.
Okay.
That's not what we're talking about, though.
Right. Well, we're not talking about the song. We
Yeah.
actually talking about the show on Netflix. So, babe, how do we get on the Love is Blind? How do we watch that? How do we start
It's
watching
all me. It's always all me.
it? I don't know, babe.
I
said it too, though.
No, you didn't.
I did.
I mean, first of all, like,
And
we
I
said in our
watched some of it, remember? I said I watched some of this.
but I told you about it.
Okay, maybe you did. I don't know.
Like,
Sometimes you just got to let them have it. I'm learning that. You got to let them have it. All right, you got it.
Well, like we say in our intro, we just love love and we love to study it. And especially since we're doing this podcast, anytime I see anything on TV that has something to do with love, I want to check it out because I just love love, right? So, I think I had heard some people talking about Love is Blind.
Mhm.
I saw, people on the internet. I'm like, what is happening here? What's going on? And so, okay, I have to check this out. I'm not actually a big reality show watcher, but if it's got something to do with love, I want to check it out.
Check it out. So,
yeah.
what that means, guys, if you haven't seen it, alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. We don't want to mess it up for you guys. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. But if you don't care, keep listening.
Yes, because basically we are going to be talking about the entire season
Yes.
of Love is Blind
Yes.
and what we thought about it. And
All that good stuff.
yeah.
Right? So before we get started, before we jump on in, man, I want to give a shout out to all our Patreons out there, man. We appreciate the Patreons. Man, y'all are awesome. Right? And they're steady climbing and steady growing. So if you want to become a Patreon and support the Loveology podcast so we continue to grow, we really appreciate your support. Go to loveologypodcast.com, find that Patreon button, pick a tier, and join us, man. We really appreciate it. Also, you can while you're there, you can scroll on down on Loveology Podcast and you can see some of our apparel that we have. Hats, t-shirts, jackets, all that good stuff. Hoodies, coffee mugs. Man, there's all types of stuff on there, man. So go in there and check it out and, see what's all the fuss about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's get right in. And especially, this is a perfect time. You can binge watch your Netflix and you can binge listen to our podcast because, it's the coronavirus is out,
Yeah.
So,
they calling it the Rona.
The
Have
Rona?
you seen it?
Yeah. The Rona. So, I understand some people not taking it seriously. Some people are taking it too seriously. Whatever. At the end of the day, just, relax and chill out, Netflix, and listen to some podcasts.
Yeah. And, definitely a lot of school closures out there. But
Good time to spend with your family.
Exactly. Let's
This
just
is great.
think of the silver lining and say, okay, well, you may be looking at your kids like, I don't know what to do with you all day.
Give them some tussing.
But, let's, just do a quick Google search, what to do with kids.
Yeah.
And, make the best out of it,
Man,
for sure.
Take advantage of this time. Do some self-development. Check out some YouTube videos. Read some books. This is a great time to just really
Slow down and just...
smell the roses, understand yourself, understand your partner, and, man, love, right?
Right.
So let's get right into it. first of all, this is a new show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just came out, but it was first they was filming back in 2018. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yes.
So what is Love is Blind, babe? What is it all about?
It is a reality show.
Mm-hmm.
And basically they called it an experiment to find out whether or not love was blind.
Right.
And so basically they put they matched these people together.
Yeah, about 15 men and 15 women.
Yes, and they basically kind of went on blind dates. They were in these pods, in these rooms,
Right.
where they could not see each other. They can only hear each other's voice, and they spent hours, talking to each other on dates, but
Right.
they couldn't see each other.
And sometimes even as long as 5 hours sitting there talking to this one person.
Is that how long? So when we go into it, I wanted to mention something because maybe I can mention it now. I don't know. But so what really threw me off
Mm-hmm.
was that in the first episode
Mm-hmm.
is condensed. So there's like 9 days or 5 days condensed into 1 hour.
Right.
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 And so by the end of the first episode, there's like people telling the other person that they love each other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah.
So I felt like I was also thrown off guard because they didn't show that, maybe they could have put on at the bottom how long these two people had been talking.
Right.
Because to us, clearly they were talking longer than a few minutes, but we only got to see a few minutes of their conversation. Right. And we can kind of tell, that these people were liking each other because they kept going on dates with one another.
Right. And just for everybody knows, love is blind. So they're when we saying they're going on dates, they don't see each other.
Right.
Right. So they're in these what we call them pods, mm-hmm. right? And it's it's a window, a glass, but you can't really see.
You can't see it all.
Can't see through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they can. It's a soundproof room, and they can hear each other, and they talking to each other, and you finally meet that person when you propose to them.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It was very crazy. So I didn't know anything about the show, and I just started watching. I'm like, why are they proposing after day 5? Like, I don't understand this.
Yeah.
But it's just the way that they had the things set up, right? The experiment set up, and they basically had to propose to them. I mean, they were in love, right?
Right.
But they had to propose to them in order to keep going with the process.
Right.
Too. It's not like they could just say, can we leave the house together? But they had to actually propose and then make arrangements to be getting married within what? How many weeks was it?
Yeah, a week or two.
It was like 8 weeks or something like that.
Total for the whole experiment.
Yeah, for the whole experiment.
So once they propose, then they will live together, mm-hmm. and then they will go home and, kind of introduce each other to each other's families. Mm-hmm. And during that time, they still couldn't really say what the experiment was about, mm-hmm. right? They still had to keep that secret because it was still airing, mm-hmm. right? And
it hadn't aired yet.
Right,
it was still filming.
It was still filming. So mm-hmm. so the families don't know, right? Really, what's really going on, right? And then they get married. They have to say
decide
I do.
Whether or not they're
yeah,
married,
you're gonna they make a decision right
mm-hmm.
there at the altar. Mm-hmm. So are they gonna? Somebody gonna say no, both of them gonna say yes. So that's what this is all about, mm-hmm. right? So let's jump into the couples. Yeah.
So basically, what are we going to be talking about with the couples? We're going to
we want to talk about how they gel. What you think? What made them really attracted to one another, mm-hmm. and just kind of just really talk about their relationship, because these couples are going to represent some of you listeners out there, mm-hmm. and maybe some relationships that you are in right now, mm-hmm. or possibly that you were in the past. So if you dated a few people, you probably can kind of relate to some of these couples, right? Mm-hmm. Some of these people didn't even know what they was coming on this show to do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some of them knew. Like Mark, he knew. They told him straight up, like, hey, this is a quest for you to see if you can find love without seeing them, right? Mm. But some of them didn't even know. Mm. They just didn't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Adventurous, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool, And so while they was in the pod phase of it, right? one thing I noticed, what they were saying, that they were sleeping on like beds that was like same beds that was in the jails, like correctional facilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard, and they said they really didn't get that much sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the producers did that on purpose because when they was in the pods are very comfortable,
very beautiful, very comfy,
very
nice
comfortable,
couch,
and they could pretty much ask for anything, and the producers would give it to them. So alcohol, all types of food. So when they was in the pods, it was a more of a just
relaxed,
a better environment than what they was used to outside of the pods, right? So I think they was kind of pushing towards that,
maybe.
And as we get closer to the characters, the only qualm about the different things that the producers gave the cast was they was mad about, they was kind of upset with Jessica when Jessica let the dog get some of the wine.
Ooh.
You remember that?
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah. So they was a little upset about that, right? Because you don't want PETA and all them on their backs giving the dog some wine. So I thought that was pretty cool. Also, I wanted to note that the cast members didn't have any access to the outside world whatsoever. We're talking about no access to their cell phone, no internet, no TV shows, no nothing. The only thing they could do is read books and talk to their peers. Right?
Yeah, so they was totally focused on finding the person that they're supposed to be with. So back like when I was saying earlier about how they could be telling each other they loved each other within a span of 5 days.
Right.
I think that this is probably one of the main reasons, right? Just like zero distractions. And they were in a bubble, and I would really love to talk to one of them, like to really like get inside of their mind.
Yeah.
To see like how I understand it in theory, but really, how do you feel like you're in love with somebody that quickly?
Well, we might have a chance to do that, so who knows? And the actual host and co-host of the show, what was it, Nick Lachey, and what's his wife's name?
Vanessa, I believe.
Right. They, and I quote, they said they want to make sure that there was little outside interference as possible. So even the producers, nobody could really give these people advice or anything. They just wanted to kind of naturally happen. Now the producers may, like I said, they set up the first date, but after that you dated who you dated. Right. And so all of them pretty much knew each other, even though if you matched up with somebody else, mind you dated probably 4 or 5 of these other people at the same time. And some of these people didn't make a decision till like right at the last minute. Right. Which I thought it add to some drama. So like I said, it's a pretty cool concept. I don't think I ever seen anything like that before. I mean, they have a show called Love at First Sight, but I think it's real surface level. It doesn't go as deep.
Well, they don't allow them to date. It's really Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight.
And they just some professional matchmakers or experts or somebody.
Yeah.
They fill out like these profiles,
right,
and they're matched based on their profiles. So the first time they ever see each other or speak to each other, they're getting married.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, this is more realistic, right?
I guess this is still a very extreme situation.
It is extreme. It is extreme, but I can see how it can happen, a la boot camp, when you're military. All our veterans out there, y'all know how it is, fresh out of boot camp. You ready to get married, ready to get with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Because you're in a bubble, right?
That's a very good point, because when I graduated from boot camp, there was a lot of proposals, right? Because the guys were just like, oh, I just can't wait to get out of here. I'm going to propose to her. She's been writing me letters. I just love her so much. And I'm going to propose to her when I graduate, the day she comes to visit.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So the producers of the show, they really didn't expect this to go the way that it did. They probably thought that.
And how do you know this information?
Well, because I got some behind the scenes friends. You know what I'm saying? Okay. No, I did my research. You know what I'm saying? I got to do is look up. Go to YouTube. So they thought they was only going to have like 1 or 2 proposals much less people actually getting married. They thought it was going to be 1 or 2 proposals, but they actually had 8 proposals total. And they wasn't prepared for 8. They said, well, we'll be prepared for 5. Because after they proposed, they sent them to Mexico, right, on a honeymoon. So they wasn't prepared.
A pre-honeymoon.
It was a pre-honeymoon.
It was meant to help them form their physical connection.
Right, so before they got married.
Yeah.
But they called it a honeymoon.
They called it a pre-honeymoon.
Okay, pre-honeymoon, whatever. So even though it was 8 proposals, you only got to see 6 of them. And, that's we'll talk about some of that a little bit later. So you ready to jump in, love?
Yes.
All right. So now we're finna dive into the couples.
Yes.
Right? Right. And so let's jump right in it. And let's start off with Jessica and Mark. Dive right into Jessica and Mark. So what do you think about Jessica?
So Jessica and Mark, for those of you who do not know, I think they had a 10-year age difference. She was 34 and he was 24. And so, during their dating phases, she really connected with him really fast, but she also connected with this other guy.
Correct.
Named Barnett.
Well, that was his last name, but yeah.
Yeah, but they called him Barnett.
Yeah, Matt.
Matt Barnett, yes. And so she was just really feeling Mark at first, still kind of hesitant about the age difference.
Yeah, and mainly because they was from, even though this was shot in Atlanta and a lot of them was living in Atlanta, but they both of them was like from Chicago. And so they connected a lot with Chicago and the Cubs and all that good stuff. So they had a lot of things that they connected with, surface level, right? But when we talked about opposites attract, we found out that really their core really wasn't the same.
Why do you say that?
Well, because she was a big drinker, right?
Oh,
wasn't she?
Well, we did watch the Love Is Blind reunion, and she did admit that she drank a little too much, and she
was a totally different person on the reunion. I think she was really upset of how she carried herself, and because Amber went at her. Yeah, I know we're jumping ahead, but she was just kind of chill.
Yeah.
Well,
like, there was moments like that I saw her in the show where she wasn't drinking, right? Of course, they're editing for excitement, so of course they're picking out the times that she's been drinking too much.
Throwed.
And she's just, definitely giving us the drama, right? So there was moments when she was not drinking that I felt like, oh, okay, she's a really cool person or whatever.
Right.
But I think that's the danger of being in a reality show. Now, she did do some stuff that she should not have done, but they also gave her alcohol, and they also but she should have been in control of that too.
Right. So Jessica was that blonde hair, blue eyes, quintessential pretty girl, but she's just kind of, I guess she feel like she was kind of going over the hump a little bit. I think she was like in her mid 30s, and Mark was in his mid 20s.
Well, first of all, I would have been concerned too. She's 34 and he's 24.
Right.
I don't think that I could date a 23-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
But Mark was he was
very mature.
Very
he
mature
seems
for
like
his
he's
age.
very mature, but if people do it all the time, I'm not saying anything wrong with it. But for me personally, I probably would have had the same hang up of like, oh my God,
right?
That is such a major age difference.
And she made some decent money. She was a regional manager. They really didn't say what she did, but
you assuming that she made decent money, but
well, because she said she didn't do her laundry.
Oh, okay.
So she didn't even do her own, wash her own clothes.
Yeah, she has a job that seems like she would make a decent salary.
Right, and he didn't. From what it looked like, he didn't have a job. He was going to school to be a personal trainer. And he was living with his friend who had a girlfriend as well.
Which is stuff that a 24-year-old would be doing at the time. Yeah.
Right. So as I'm going back to kind of, surface level, they kind of matched up. But when you take it, on a more practical level of income and all that, it's like.
Well, when you said core, the core values, that's not Because they actually did. They both got excited about something because she said she wanted to raise her children as Christian.
Yeah.
And he got really excited.
Because he got a tattoo.
Well, he wants to raise his children as Christian. That's a core value.
Yeah,
Some
but
people don't want to.
I feel like she was stunting a little bit. That's just me.
Okay.
I don't know. I just think she was just stunting.
Well, okay. I feel like a better statement for you to have said was that some of the practical things were a little bit off, but it seemed like they did have the same core values.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't think Jessica and Mark was going to make it at all because if you saw the show, she really didn't want Mark. Mark was really sloppy seconds.
No, at first she was like leading, and then she kind of started getting more attracted to Barnett.
And really because she found out that he was Hispanic.
Jason,
what?
I don't know if I could do this.
I mean, she did.
You are totally speculating. I don't think that Jessica, if you listening, I'm sorry.
Just saying.
I don't think that's what it was.
Man, she saw a little Hispanic. You know what I'm saying?
No, she knew he was Hispanic from the first time that they dated. She did mention that they were different races or whatever and different ages. But I don't know if that was...
I mean, she did know he was Hispanic. But at the same time, she wanted Barnett. She wanted him first.
She wanted Barnett because she said that he is the person that she would typically date.
Right.
He was a jock, you know what I'm saying? He played baseball or something. It's like she was Barbie and he was Ken. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's just they look like they supposed to get together.
Right.
I don't know. But anyways, so
yeah.
Basically like I was very mad at her because Barnett, you know, he said on the reunion tour that reunion special that he basically said some stuff that he shouldn't have said. Like he told her that he would probably ask her to marry him tomorrow, and then the next day he was
he said, "You're my number one." Too.
Yeah, it kept telling her, you know, you're my number one, and so she kind of dumped. You know, she tried to dump Mark. And then Barnett, she asked him, did he still feel the same way? And he's like, he didn't know. And then she got mad, flipped out, and was like, I don't F with people like you.
But my thing is, so Mark was...
Then she went back to Mark, ran back to him.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. So guys, fellas, this is a prime example. When that girl ain't feeling you and putting you on the back burner like that, man, let her go.
Yes, because I just did not understand why Mark kept going back to her. Like
he really liked her.
Man, but I'm like, after she dumps you like that, like, dude, go talk to Barnett, find out what happened.
And he was young.
Yeah, I was just like, why he keep doing this?
Yeah, he showed his age during that.
You know, he just a lovable guy. Like, he really liked her. But
you got to watch yourself. You got to protect your heart, man.
Yeah.
Use your head and your heart.
So this is the main thing you learned from that situation?
Yeah, don't be a sucker. Don't be a sucker.
He said that he don't regret going, you know.
Yeah, he going to go all in. But like I said, you know, when the girl ain't feeling you and she putting you on the back burner a little bit, she's a little bit slow responding to your text messages and your phone calls. Man, go to somebody I
was slow responding to your text message and phone calls.
Yeah, but I knew, you know.
What?
Well, I just, you know, we was in the beginning. They proposed. They done already proposed. Well, they didn't propose yet. But, you know, they was about to propose. And it looked like he was about to be a stand-up guy because he was like, hold up, I ain't no sloppy seconds. You know, you going to have to, you know, do you really want to, I got to think about this. Do you really want to be with me? You know, he said that.
Yeah, and the whole time, basically throughout their whole journey, she just going back and forth.
Disrespecting this man.
Yeah, she said something that's very disrespectful. I felt like he was very mature in that moment because I'm like, oh, he's super mature because he got upset, but he walked away, cooled down, and came back to her and talked to her very calmly. And I'm just like, he's very mature. Yeah.
So Jessica and Mark, I just knew they weren't gonna make it anyways because it was she basically got with Mark just so she could stay on the show, so she can see. I think
she did have feelings for him.
She wanted to see Matt Burnett. She wanted to see him, and that's why she accept Mark's proposal.
Well, basically, everyone, they go through the journey and they don't get married.
Yeah, they do not get married. But Mark wanted to marry her. Mark said, "I do."
Yes,
but she said no.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the number one couple of them all, I feel like. And who is that, babe? Who you think that is?
You were saying,
well, I said the number one now. The number one couple now. The face of Love Is Blind.
Cameron and
Lauren. Yep, Cameron and Lauren. They actually got a YouTube show called Hanging with the Hamiltons or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, so Google it. But anywho,
so let me just say that this was my favorite couple from the jump.
Yeah.
Jason was on another couple that we would talk about, but when they proposed to each other, I just was like, I really like them. I think they're wonderful together. And Jason's like, no. And I'm like, why are you acting like this? I don't know. But anyways.
I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
I didn't think that he was serious.
Why not?
Because he said, because he's a scientist, right? That's the first thing he said. But he said like, almost like he said theory and stuff. He started using like scientific words to like, it's just, I want to try this out. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's a scientist. So he talked in a scientist way.
Yeah, it just made me feel like he was just trying something out. I feel like because they didn't see each other. Cameron is Caucasian and Lauren is African American, right? And like I said, they didn't see each other, but I think they knew what color they were, right? But I don't know. I just felt like he was just trying something out. Initially, I didn't. Initially, I had to grow. He had to grow on me.
He was running to her when they if you guys haven't seen it, they had them stand on separate ends of the hallway, and then they open the doors and they see each other, and he was running to her. I know what man looked like when he in love with a woman.
Yeah,
and he was in love,
and they was the ones that said I love, and she actually said I think I love you. She said it first,
and he was like I love you, and then they started crying, and I was like, what? They only knew each other for 5 days, and she already saying, Cameron, I think I love you.
Yeah.
But when you really start, like I said, at this point, we only seeing minutes, even though I know they've been talking for hours. It's still like, I feel like the show, maybe, if you're listening, producers and editors, I feel like maybe we can get a little bit more conversation.
And a timeline,
just throw. Okay,
like
hey,
how many hours they've been talking?
They've been talking for this many hours.
Just keep a ticker at the bottom of the screen. Or
help
something.
help us out, because I was like, but now that we've seen how it goes, it won't be such a shocker. Like I'm gonna expect this next time, maybe.
Right?
But it was just, it was almost unbelievable to me. I'm like, what is this? So yes, that was my favorite couple from the jump, and as they went through their journey. So they went to Mexico, did their little vacation, and then they had to live with each other. But the show put them up in like an apartment, right? So they visited each other's houses, but they didn't live in those houses.
Right.
They were merged in a separate apartment,
right?
From their respective houses. So, when I watched Cameron and Lauren, what I really liked that they talked, like they still knew how to talk to each other.
Right.
And, they would just calmly discuss things and,
mainly because he's super calm.
Yeah. But, sometimes some women or men may be scared to say how they really feel about things.
Right.
And Lauren was very good at articulating how she felt and not in a rude way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like she's calm too. She's not like flipping out and saying all sorts of crazy stuff. She expressed her concerns. So her concerns was, okay, basically she talked to him about being in an interracial relationship. He had been in one before. And
right. And
like
that started kind of make me like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. He's okay.
Yeah. He for real. He's done this for. And I can kind of see how he was open up his home, like, like, yo, this is us.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. And Lauren was still kind of like,
she still,
I don't know. Cause she never lived with a guy before.
She said she had her own space. Anybody home.
Yeah. Never took anybody home to meet her parents. And this was the first person that she took home, a Caucasian guy.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite parts of the show, if all the guys out there, if you ever dated a black woman,
she had a hair bun.
No. You ever had dated a black woman, you was getting serious with her, and you had to meet their daddy or some form of that. Sometimes the family is the daddy. Sometimes it's an uncle that's playing that daddy, or sometimes it's a brother. Boy, that's a hot seat for you.
And he took it.
That sucker was cooler than the other side of the pillow. God, dog. and Daddy wasn't playing.
He wasn't. He was
He
like, okay,
never-
so you white and she black. Now what y'all,
Because mind you, he never seen any of her
boyfriends.
This is the first person she brought. And I feel like Lauren kind of, hung him out to dry.
Because she was like, okay, I'm going to leave y'all. And he was like, okay.
But
I think he did.
He held his own, though.
Yeah.
And that he gained respect like a mug from Lauren's daddy.
Yeah.
Because Lauren's daddy did not play.
Yes. That was one of the most touching parts of the show, is when she was getting married and her daddy came in and he started crying and he told her she was so beautiful. It was so sweet. I was like, oh.
Cause like I said, when he met, I don't like the producers. They couldn't really tell what was really going on. Now when they was getting married, that's when they knew, like, okay, y'all finna get married for real. Like, what's up? You know. So that's when they knew. But when they first met, So that was I like old Lauren and Cameron. They're
but
awesome.
I'm trying to give you your credit because you always say communication.
Communication is the
And
key.
I don't know why you didn't. Well, you said as they communicate, you could see how this could work. But I'm just like, she was having some reservations about getting married, and she told him, I'm just not sure. I can't tell you that I'm 100% positive that I'm gonna say yes when we're at the altar, right?
Because Lauren is she's pro-black. She talked about it, you know what I'm saying? But you can still be pro-black and date outside your race.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for her to be able to feel comfortable and to be able to express that to him in a calm way, and for him to just accept that that's the way that she feels and be patient and just allow her to feel the way that she feels, because some men maybe, of course he wanted to know, right? But he ain't gonna flip out and have he understood he was
getting a little frustrated.
He was getting a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Because he just wanted her.
Because it's like, dude, no, like, I love you.
Yeah.
And you love me. What's the problem, basically?
Well, because everybody's afraid of rejection. And nobody wants to be rejected. So he's like, I'm telling you that I'm here. I'm ready. Like, let's do it. And you're still telling me you don't know. So, like I said, you can tell he was getting a little frustrated, but he still handled it properly.
Correct.
Because if he hadn't, she'd probably be like,
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think his coolness really
helped him out.
did it. Yeah, and we knew that Cameron wanted her. Yeah, we knew he was gonna say yes. Yeah, but we was kind of nervous about Lauren. So I ain't know. I was like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And she said yes, and it shocked me. I ain't gonna lie.
It did not shock me at all. I was like, no, she's just struggling because she's never dated anybody outside of her race, and this is so fast. I'm like, she's struggling.
Yeah, it happened so fast.
And she's very independent.
Right.
And all that was the struggle. But I feel like she loved him. So, all of that, the other stuff was the struggle. She's like, is this going to be okay? I'm still scared. Like, it's so fast. Right. But I figured she was going to say, yeah, like, she loved him.
So basically, yes, they did get married on the show. They was the first ones to say I love you. And I think that was the first ones they showed to get married.
Yeah. They're the golden children of the show.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yes.
They've been on Ellen. They've been all over the place. So shout out to Lauren and Cameron, man. Y'all are awesome. Yeah. Y'all are epitome of Love is Blind, because it definitely is. And, basically, guys, what you can take from these two couples, it's all about, all the couples really is all about communication, right? Communication and trust. But, if stay cool. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, stay cool. Yeah. And women, kind of open up a little bit. It's okay. I know you got a set list that you want, 5, 7. You might want a 6. I want a person that's 6'5". He got to have this type of credit score and all this and that. But it's okay. You don't necessarily have to have exactly what you quote unquote want, right? To be the love of your life. Right. Like, take a chance. And like I said, fellas, be cool. Don't be flipping and showing your true colors, or getting too
hopefully
mad.
Your true colors is that you know how to be accepting of what she's saying.
Right.
And if that's not it, then you need to work on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's what I meant to say. So moving right on along to Amber and Matt. This is
Barnett. Let's just call him Barnett.
Okay, we'll call him Barnett.
That's what everyone knows him as.
Yeah. Amber and Barnett. So I like them. I really, 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 really like them. Yeah. I felt like they was my number 2 couple. And then Lauren and Cameron was my number 3 couple. But man, I really like Amber and Matt. They was fireworks, basically. Like, really, I thought they was gonna be the face of Love Is Blind, to be honest, because it was just so you just knew that they was like, just seemed like they just perfect together.
I could see a lot of feistiness between them
For sure.
Yeah,
but it's fireworks. That's
yeah,
what it's all about. See, when you have something that's just oh my God, just so much explosion, so much, it's like the spark, right? But it's like that's a big spark. It's like boom, because they just seem so well together, but that can cause issues. So you remember the movie Why Did I Get Married? Was it? And the two that was fighting all the time. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, something, yeah, I can see them being fighting and stuff here and there, and I'm pretty sure they do. But they are probably makeup all the time with some makeup sex or something.
Probably, yeah. They just have an intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at first I didn't like Barnett because I felt like he was leading the other two women on. And
he didn't know what he wanted to do.
Right.
He's a playboy.
Yeah, so at first I didn't like him. And then later on, I feel like she was, his equal and his match. Like you said, they just match perfectly, and she can deal with his stuff and he can deal with her stuff. Right. They just go together perfectly.
Right.
Yeah.
And and so what we found out later as we dug in deeper once they proposed to each other. I love when they first saw each other. I think that was like the major explosion, because they would, like, you could just see, like, oh my gosh, he thought that she was hot and she thought that he was hot, and it was just like, oh my God. But she thought that he was hot more than he thought that she was hot. She was more into him than he is to her.
That's what you say, but
I believe, because she was kissing all on him all the time.
Her love language was
oh my God.
physical touch.
Maybe so. So, but what you find out, Matt was a little bit more grounded than you kind of thought he was.
Yeah.
You thought he was a playboy, kind of just messing around, drinking beer all the time, but he was an engineer. And his family was kind of, I want to say rigid.
No.
His family was just what?
They're just more serious people.
Yeah, just very, very serious. And Barnett likes to kind of have fun a little bit. And that's what he really, really liked about Amber, was he could be himself.
Exactly.
His family was, was serious, and he couldn't, he was.
They think he was just too
playful.
Not serious enough, not as serious as they were.
And he can be himself, be his goofy self, and she was still, she loved it. She loved his goofy self, right? So I thought that was pretty cool, to have somebody that you can be yourself around, right? So, and then you look at her background, she didn't have a job. She was in debt.
Yeah.
she had to pay back school loans that she didn't finish the school. You know what I'm saying? So he was stable. He had a house. He had a dog, and she wasn't stable. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man,
Well, maybe if they would change the pay gap, maybe if women got paid the same amount as men.
I think she was in the military. She strikes me as a military.
Yeah, she
girl.
Was ex-military. I think she was in the Army. I can't remember, but yeah, like I think men are, still to this day. I guess you guys still make more money than us, right? And all this other stuff. So I think men are just kind of. A lot of men are still more accepting of that. Like they don't. It doesn't bother them, right?
Right.
It's like it's okay,
Right.
She didn't have like an obscene amount of debt, right? Like I think she said it was like 20,000.
I don't know.
That's not 100,000.
But
okay.
She ain't had no job though.
Well. Okay,
it's
so
one thing to have some debt, but it's also you don't have nothing to pay off the debt.
Right. Well, she came on the show, and so I think she said she was working as like a waitress or cock. I can't remember what she said she was working as, but she probably had to stop working.
I think she was working. Oh, you talking about
she had to stop working to go to the show.
Right.
So, she would just have to pick up another job, right? But
even on the show, and Barnett and Amber, we knew Amber was gonna say yes, right? Because shoot, she was like, she hit the jackpot to her.
Oh gosh.
No, like for her, she hit the jackpot, and he had a house. He had money, right?
You're making it sound like she just got with him because of all that.
No. She definitely got with him because she loved him. She loved who he was. But man, it was like bonus on top of bonus on top of bonus. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh yeah, this is it. It's like she ain't, you know. And him, it was more questionable. Was he gonna say yes? You know?
Yeah, and I think for him again, it was just. I guess this was the one thing I didn't like about the show, but it created the sense of drama, right?
It did.
Is that they was making them get married so fast? It's like,
yeah.
Some of these couples are just like really good couples, but they just need a little bit more time.
Right.
And I felt like Barnett did love her and he was very excited to be with her. But it's like, geez, I got to get married to her like right now.
Right.
That's still such a huge commitment.
Correct.
Right. So.
And I think it would have shocked me if they didn't get married. So I kind of felt like they was going to get married, and they did. Yeah, they did.
I don't know. I was a little concerned.
And just, a little fast fact. Like I said, the producers only expected 5, well, actually 1 or 2 people to propose, and not that, but since they had so many that proposed, that the people, once they got to the wedding, they had to pay for some of this stuff. They had to pay for their own wedding dress. They had to pay for this stuff. So not only you on this show, but now you got to cough out some money, and she wasn't helping on them.
Yeah, she was basically.
She went over the budget on her wedding dress, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
So the takeaway with Amber and Matt, man, find somebody that that can love you for you, man, and just have fun, and just let go and let God.
Yeah. And Amber said something really powerful on the reunion episode. She was explaining, some of the issues that they were having, because the good thing was, it's like Jason said, it was filmed in 2019.
18.
So 18, sorry. And so when the couples did the reunion, they had been together for a year.
Like a year and a half.
And some change, right? And so Amber and Barnett and Cameron and Lauren were definitely still together. And Amber,
but they was Amber and Burnett was a little rocky.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. She was being honest, and she was saying, she thought about the divorce, thought about divorcing him, and he was like, yeah, I'm stubborn, basically, but she also said that they had to stop, like putting their ideals of what a wife should be or what a husband should be,
right,
and just like be them,
just be you.
And so many people fall into this. Many people got this idea of what a wife should be, and so many people got an idea of what a husband should be. And even your parents, you might get that from your parents. You might get that information from your parents,
but that's them.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to be you.
You got to figure out what it works between me and you, because at the end of the day, it's just me.
It's just me and you
in this marriage.
Our parents ain't in this marriage,
right? So you got to figure it out. So hey,
what works for them might not work for you.
Exactly. So some people may say, "Oh, the husband should take care of all the finances and take care of physically paying the bills and all that stuff." And no, it's like, no, my husband is not good at that. Actually,
She ain't talking about me.
No, Jason is very good at all of that stuff, but there's plenty of situations where the woman is so much better at that.
For
right?
sure.
So it just doesn't matter.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly.
Y'all won anyways.
Right. Just figure out.
Yeah, if you won, figure out who's got strengths in this area and who got weakness in this area, and go from there.
Play to each other's strengths.
The yin and the yang.
Right.
There it is.
Yep.
All right. So let's move right along to Diamond and Colton.
Oh, yeah. So this is where I saw like some spoilers before I could get to actually watch the show. I saw people talking about this.
This is a deep one, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. So when I first saw Carlton, I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like a cool, fun dude. Kind of remind me of myself. He kind of joking around. I remember he was talking to one of the girls in the pod, and I guess she was too boring for him, and he just got up and left. So I was like, man, dude is cool. He kind of funny.
I call it rude, but whatever.
It was just kind of funny, And Diamond was just a sweetheart from the jump, right? She just seemed like she has a big heart. She used to be a dancer for the Atlanta Hawks, and Diamond was just cool, And then they was gelling, and Carlton proposed to Diamond, and she said yes, and they went on with the show, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. that's when they hit a downturn once they started
they
living
did go
together.
on with the show, but
It went on with the show.
It didn't last very long.
Look, so when they went to their little pre-honeymoon, man, Carlton just kind of went a different route.
Dropped the bomb.
Dropped
the bomb on me.
Yeah, but it's like his whole demeanor changed. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the same in the pods that he was in real life, and I couldn't really put my finger on it, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like he said what he kind of let everybody know before he let Diamond know, and what that secret was that he had was he's fluid, and fluid means that he dates either sex. He can date a guy, he can date a woman.
Yeah.
He had sex with a guy and had sex with a woman. And I think, whatever you want to do, if you like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever floats your boat.
I will say that he said that in the past. I don't know if this was something that he was still, doing.
Yeah.
But he said in the past.
He did say in the past. So, like I said, whatever, if you like it, I love it. Okay. But the problem, I feel the problem was he did not tell her that before he proposed to her. And that's the major problem. I get it that, like people don't really talk about sexual partners as much. If you've been following some of my short videos, I talked about that. That was the last video I talked about. Should you tell your significant other how many sexual partners you had in the past? I get it, right? But I still feel like if you're dating a heterosexual, then you should let them know that you used to do something different. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just common courtesy, so they can kind of know what they're getting themselves into. So basically, when they was in in Mexico and they pre-honeymoon, he finally told her, but she kind of pulled it out of him too at the same time. Cause she was like, something's different. You know what I'm saying? Something is bothering you. Something is on your mind. You know what I'm saying? Let me know.
Yeah, tell me what it is. Yeah.
And so he finally told her that in the past he had sexual relations with the man. Now, mind you, in defense, well, I ain't gonna say in defense, but I was watching some other videos where he said he only had. He said, I can count my sexual partners on one hand, like all of them, male and female. And he's like, how many people can say that? Right. You know what I'm saying? So, he's saying that he hasn't had that many sexual partners, but at the same time, if you having sex with men and women, I think you should let them know.
Yeah, for sure.
And
yeah, he did.
When he dropped that bomb, I think she took it pretty well.
I think she reacted very well.
Well, the initial reaction, because her eyes did, because she wasn't expecting that.
Right.
Her eyes went crazy, like, what the, you know what I'm saying? But I think she took it very well. What was she doing for him, babe?
Well, she took some time. She spent the night in another room, and she took some time to think about it. And she said she just wanted to talk to him. So the explosion happened that everybody was talking about, that I became, that gained knowledge to before I could watch this show. The explosion that everyone was talking about was, now she was trying to talk to him about it, about the situation. Because basically she just told him that she needed some time to process. And the next day she wanted to talk to him. And, I don't understand how anybody could be saying anything really negative about her, because I felt like she just really wanted to talk to him. She just wanted to go on and continue the conversation, because she really didn't respond to him too much that night. She just went to another room and processed it, and it was like, now I'm ready to talk about it.
Right.
Now on the reunion episode, she said that maybe she could have came to him a little bit more gently. Right. But I felt like
I think she did an excellent job.
I just felt like she was just really trying to talk to him, and it was so hurtful for her because the way that he reacted, it was hurtful for her, because she was just like, I'm just trying to talk to you, and you're like exploding on me and calling her
a B. Yeah, call her a B.
Yeah.
And that's what really set her off. Yeah. Like, really, you gonna call me a B? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what it wasn't even, this is coming from Diamond. It wasn't even the fact that he was fluid. It was the fact that he disrespected her.
Yeah.
Straight or not, she was like, you're not gonna disrespect me. I don't tolerate disrespect.
I don't think anybody has any of my boyfriends has never called me that word.
Right.
So no matter how bad we was fighting, that's never a word that's come out of their mouth.
Right.
So.
Yeah, called a B. I don't know what that is.
A female dog.
Right. So that flipped her out. And she was just like, really? You gonna and she still didn't just really click right after that. It took some more stuff. Like he's saying some more stuff like, that's why I don't date women like you, blah blah blah. I don't want to, I don't do women like you. And so she was just like, so I'm trying to talk to you. Yeah. And it's like, if you don't, I don't need you. He was like, I don't need this right now. You can go. If you want to call it off, you go. Like he was pushing, he went straight into defense mode. And he just shut down. Yeah. And he took the ring. And she put it down. She's like, well, here your ring. And he's like, I don't care about no ring, and threw it in the pool. and so that made her snap. And she said some things and he said some things. And I think that's where they start getting the homophobia stuff, because she said something, kind of a gay slur, and
I guess I didn't hear that, but
yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear.
Yeah, because that's when he said something about the wig, and
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was really sad about that, because I'm just like, that really could have gone differently. And in defense of him, he did go into defensive mode. This is not something that's easy to talk about, and not something that people accept.
But you know what? Shout out to Carlton. A lot of people ain't gonna give him. Shout out to Carlton for even saying that, because there's people out here that are dating men that are down low,
right?
And they don't say anything.
Yeah, and that's what he said when he told her the first time. It was like, he just want to be honest. He want to be transparent. And sometimes that may mean something like this may happen, and it's like so scary for him, because he really did care about her a lot, and still does, according to the reunion, episode. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I was sad to see it go down like that. Yeah. I really do wish they could have had the conversation, and that they could like I said, I don't know if it's because I'm a girl, but I was leaning more toward her, because it's like, yeah, she just was trying to have a conversation with him, and it exploded. And, hey, if you can't have a conversation about this, then I guess y'all not going to work, right?
Right.
But I was just very sad. Like, she couldn't even make it to her room. She found a table and laid her head down and started crying. So my heart really went out to both of them for sure. But, as a woman, it was very difficult to see her crying like that, and to know how excited she was when he proposed to her, and, just being disrespected. And I think he said he did apologize.
No, he definitely apologized. Yeah. He apologized like before the reunion. He definitely apologized. Some people kind of feel like he's not that genuine, but that's
I feel like he was genuine. I feel like he didn't mean to hurt her like that,
right?
So, but yeah, I mean, the lesson for that, let's tell that important information up front, and it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, because when do you? Well, they was getting married, proposed, so I guess before you start like that third date or something, maybe, kind of let the person know. And that's kind of hard, some of your deep, dark secrets and stuff. So definitely before it gets serious, you got to let the person know. Right. So if this wasn't in a intense, condensed thing, right, I wonder, like what would have happened if they had more time to evolve as a couple and date, and go maybe date like a month or something, and then he tell her and not be getting engaged so soon. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because that was the other part. It's like, oh, you asked me to marry you, but you didn't tell me this information. So if he had more time, maybe he could have told her. So, we'll never know.
And I think another key takeaway is, man, fellas, we can't be so defensive. You know what I'm saying? Don't clam up in our defensive shell and just, because the woman is trying to, they're trying to reach out to you. They're trying to connect with you. And if you all defensive, you making it almost impossible for somebody to connect you on an emotional level.
Right.
So definitely, open up, guys. And, even if, you made a mistake, whether you think it's a mistake or not, if they feel like it's that big to them, try to get their perspective, try to understand them, and, and just open up, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's move on to the next couple. And that's Gianna. Hope I'm saying her name right. And Damien.
They call her Gigi, right?
Gigi. Let's call her Gigi. Gigi and Damon. And to me, these two was opposite. Just all the way
this
through.
was like my second favorite couple.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I thought they were cute together.
Yeah.
And I thought they were opposite, but that they were complementary. Their personalities were complementary.
I just thought they was way too different. You know what I'm saying? He seemed older and she seemed young and just, I want to do this. And
but he was only a couple of years older than her.
Yeah, but he just seemed way more mature than she was. And I don't know, she just seemed just a little bit more play, have fun. I lost my butterflies.
Well, this is the thing, because when she said that, I'm like, are you serious? A couple of days go by and I don't know where my butterflies went. It's like, so I think that unfortunately a lot of women feel like this, and this is what movies have done to us.
Spoiler alert. The butterfly's gonna go away, y'all. It's not really a thing that's gonna sustain your marriage.
Right, exactly. Like, it's just a part.
It's puppy love.
Yeah, it's just a part of the evolution of your love.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And so
It's that manic love. Right?
Well, it's not manic. No, it's romantic.
Romantic. Okay.
It's just that excitement. It's the excitement of getting to know someone new and having all these new experiences and stuff.
We broke down the different types of loves in one of our previous episodes. Go check it out.
Yeah, you probably need to revisit it since you called it manic. It's not manic love. But yeah, it's just that new love, that new romantic love. And
the butterfly, I repeat, the butterflies will go away, y'all. It's okay. It's not, not a big deal.
It just turns into something else, right?
Yeah, it's deeper. It's a deeper type of love. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And if everybody would just like accept that that's like, you can't have butterflies every day of your life. You know what I mean? Like, that's just it's just very unrealistic, and but like I said, it's just kind of what love stories and things have done to us, right?
And what's great was unique about this couple, that he was about to propose to her, but she said, "Nope, I'm gonna propose to you."
Yes, so I love her voice. She's like, "I want to ask you, Damien, will you marry me?" I really do love her voice. I don't know why.
Yeah, she's cool. She seems like she's a cool person to have fun with. Damon just seemed like he's just serious. Not really saying much.
He's just chill.
Yeah, he's real chill. But they seem like some really cool people. It's just, they just, she was just, her emotions was all over the place, and he was just more of a even keel type of dude.
Which is why I feel like they worked fine. It's like, like I said.
So you saying my emotions all over the place?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, we work fine, and you more even keel.
No, I'm talking about them.
Oh, okay.
That specific dynamic between them. Anyways, So yes, for those of you who do not know, they did not get married, but at the reunion episode, they were together.
They still dating, y'all.
Yes,
and I think that's the smartest thing to do. And he didn't think that she was gonna say yes, and they had her they asked her first, and she said yes. So he was like, well, I think he even shed a tear. Because he was expecting her to say no, and then boom, it'll be over with, and then they can date. Because he wanted to be with her. He still he loved her. He just didn't want to be married to her right now. You know what I'm saying? Which is a sensible thing to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not like it's it's like I said, that was my only issue with the show. Well, one of my only issues. But that was kind of the main thing. It's like, oh, y'all gonna force these people to get married and say yes or no, but of course, like I said, that adds to the drama of the show. But
and when he said no, ooh, she ran up out that place.
Yeah, she almost fainted. Then her
she
mama
fell.
came. I was like, "Oh, mama about to make me cry. Mama is about to make me cry," because mama ran after her and hugged her, and she crying harder than the daughter is. It was like, yep, that's me.
Yep. So you can't say they wasn't in love.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was definitely in love. So what's the key takeaways with this couple?
Well, I mean, I just felt like, yeah, they did just need more time. And I like that all of these couples, like on the reunion episode, all of them were very introspective. I believe that's the right word.
Break it down. Break that word down for some of us.
Yeah, so it's basically when you are self-examining yourself and looking at your actions and just looking at your own personality, and I guess that's the beauty of TV, because
you can see yourself.
You can actually see yourself. And so I feel like that's maybe Jessica, going back to her, she said a lot of the moments were very cringeworthy for her, and they played back a scene and she didn't even look at it because it's just, she just couldn't believe that she behaved that way. Right. But, she apologized. And so same thing with Gigi. She apologized to Damien because she could see that, wow, he was being very patient with me.
Right.
I was putting you through some stuff. I apologize for putting you through that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just so thankful for you for being, very patient with me. So,
a lot of them pretty girls put you through stuff.
Oh, gosh. Did I put you through anything?
No, baby, but you different.
I'm not pretty.
No, you're different on the inside. You're very beautiful.
Well, yeah, she, so I really I feel like everybody, all the cast members these were just really fundamentally, they feel like some good people to me, because they were just all very genuine, and they all, looked at themselves and was like, okay, yeah, that was not good. Right. And I should not have done that. And so, I can applaud that, because a lot of people can't do that, man. It's so difficult for people to do. So so the biggest takeaway that I learned from Gigi and Damien is, hey, take your time.
Take your time, for sure. I was gonna say that.
Yeah. And do be introspective. Yes. So evaluate yourself, right?
Yeah.
And maybe there are some things that you need to work on, and maybe that person will be patient and be there with you as you work on them, and y'all can work on it together.
And the main thing that worked for them was communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Because you remember, how did they get together? They was just communicating.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time. They built their love off of talking to each other, right? So even at their highest of, you didn't think they was going to make it, once they separated themselves, and he was in one room and they was in another room, and she was in the other room, and they couldn't see each other, but they was talking, that's when they started to mend their relationship back together again, off of communication. Absolutely. That was a key example of how communication works and can always help your relationship.
Yeah.
If your relationship goes south or sour, communicate. It'll mend it. It'll bring it back together every time.
Right.
Moving right along to our last couple.
Jason's favorite couple.
My number one couple was Kenny and Kelly. Don't that sound just right?
It sounds perfect.
It sounds perfect. Kenny and Kelly, man.
Yeah.
Just Kenny and Kelly was
I'm still mad at her.
They was just perfect. They was perfect. They never once did you see they had any issues whatsoever.
Until the end, then they started dropping these little bombs and stuff.
Yeah, but come to find out, they just, I guess, what the producers just didn't have much to spin off of, right? They didn't have anything to spin off of. So they portrayed them as being perfect, which they was, cool together.
Until she started letting the cat out the bag. Until Kelly started.
Look, I don't even talk about their family. They was the only ones, when they family came together, their entire family came together and welcomed one another.
Yes.
Like they whole families, they greeted each other. Their whole families basically partied with each other, got to know each other, and they was cool. Like it was like a match made in heaven. Like it was, I don't know, it was like perfect. I just knew they was gonna get together and be married. Just knew it. It was, what was stopping them? You know what I'm saying? But you know what stopped them?
What?
Women, man. Women don't know when, I guess just want the bad guy or something. Because even her sister, they said, this is the best dude that you ever had.
Yeah, from the outside looking in, like I have a hard time like talking about people, like real people. If this was like a movie, then I have an easier time. But from the outside looking in, it seemed like Kelly just attracted to bad men. That's from the outside looking in, and this dude is like
The perfect guy.
yeah, he's just like so sweet, you know. You can just look at him and tell he's just like, oh, you're just like such a great guy. And so at first she was saying that she wasn't really physically attracted to him or something. And then when I heard her best friend say, like at the bachelorette party, that they not had to pull her out of a lot of bad stuff, and that she falls in love with her eyes first, and that I was like, oh no, this is not good. This is not good. Now then she talked to her sister, and then when her sister said, that's the best man that you brought around, oh no, this is not good. Lady, please go ahead and marry this man. Please, because clearly your friends and your sister are saying that you're attracted to bad men.
So I hope y'all hearing this. It's okay sometimes to listen to your friends and family members sometimes when it's about your significant other, because sometimes they can see things that you can't see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you gotta, gotta pay attention to those things. Right? And, another key takeaway on pretty much all, when they got engaged and they got to see each other, all of them pretty much had sex, except Kenny and Kelly and Jessica and Mark.
They did.
Jessica and Mark did not have sex.
They did.
No, they didn't.
Mark said that they did.
No, I don't remember that, babe.
Yes.
Fact check. Somebody, please.
Mark said that they did.
They ain't do nothing.
Okay.
They didn't
Jason
do it.
don't believe me, y'all. It gets on my
Babe,
nerves.
I just proved you wrong 2 times tonight on something else.
Okay, well, I'm right about this.
Okay, well, we gonna see.
Yeah, we going back right now. Turning on Netflix and turning.
Yeah.
We'll put it on Facebook.
But anywho, Jessica and Mark, and while they was, going through their thing, they didn't if they did have sex, which I don't think they did, they didn't have sex for a long time. Like, I don't think they ever had sex.
What's wrong with that? I think if I was in that situation, I wouldn't have.
Yeah, you wouldn't have. But Lauren and Cameron had sex, they married. Amber and Matt had sex, they married.
Gigi and Damien.
Gigi and Damien did have sex, they still together.
What's the other couple?
Diamond and Carter did not have sex, they're not together. You see what I'm saying? So they had a emotional connection and they had a physical connection. Right? So Kenny and Kelly did not have that physical connection.
Well, she was totally on her. I'm sure he wanted to do it.
Yeah, he was like, "What's up?"
Yeah, but she didn't have the physical connection. I'm just like, why not? This is a handsome man.
Yeah.
I don't see what's wrong with him. Nothing's wrong with him. Like what?
It's her. And on the reunion,
it messed me up, man.
On the reunion, I think she regretted that.
I think so too. I really do.
Because Kenny is dating somebody else now. He's dating, I think it was an old flame, actually.
I don't know.
He was dating somebody else. Yeah, happy. And I think he's going to end up getting married to her.
Probably. And because she said something about.
She started crying.
She said something about she's putting a lot of guys into her, a lot of, eligible dudes into like the friend category. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I give credit to everybody. Like they was thinking, they was like, dang. They really was evaluating, themselves in their life. And so I kind of, she wasn't making very much sense to me when she was speaking about it. But it kind of sounded like she regretted it a little bit and that she wish they had more time. And she started talking about her wedding and like, she wasn't one of the girls that planned everything to the T, but she don't see how they got married, right? Because she did want it to be a certain way. And I'm like, if that's the only reason why you didn't say something, why you didn't say yes, that's ridiculous.
Look, when he said yes and she said no, I was shocked.
And then her mama
was like, what the?
Well, her mother was like, I love this guy because he made like a nice speech.
Even after she said no.
Yeah.
And he's just
so composed and together. And he's just so polite that he made a nice speech. And the mom was like,
he was like a Cameron part 2, basically. But he was hot though when the
people kept
trying to interview him.
Yes, I was so mad. I was like, leave this man alone. Stop filming him. And he was like, please stop filming. Please stop filming. And they just, of course,
get that camera out of here.
Yeah. But Yes, I was very disappointed. I was like, ugh. But it again, the show put a lot of pressure on you to get married, but it kind of seemed like, oh, because it wasn't happening the way that she wanted it to happen, that like that's the only reason why. But my biggest thing was with her. It was like, if you wanted to be with him and if you felt like you just needed more time and that you wanted a different type of wedding, this man would have been open if you would have communicated.
For sure.
And said, listen, I'm going to say no. You know what I'm saying? But it's not because I don't want to be with you. I do want to be with you. I just really feel like I can't move this fast. Yeah. It's understandable not to want to move that fast.
And that's exactly what Damien did.
Yeah.
Basically.
I can't move this fast. Right. And it's like we can walk down together. So it's still, I'm just like, it goes back to communication. Like you should have communicated.
Gotta communicate. And Lauren, she said that they're gonna have another wedding, like a reception wedding, because they got a party. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have all. Remember this happened. Members, this happened fast. Members, so all their friends and family members. So they're gonna do it again. Yeah. Like I said, but it seems like they are just the perfect couple.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. So, well, that's today's episode of Loveology Podcast.
I hope you guys enjoyed it, fans of the show. I hope
we switched it up a little bit. We trying to give we had some people talk about it, so we try to give the fans what they want. You know what I'm saying? Get the listeners right. So, man, definitely check it out. We're gonna talk about it again. Live discussion this Wednesday coming up, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Central, and 9 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna talk a little bit more about Love Is Blind on a live discussion on Facebook. So yeah, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Hope y'all enjoy Love Is Blind. Don't forget to rate and review. We appreciate the reviews coming in.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. Keep reviewing, keep rating it, and keep sharing it, man. Share the love, because this is instead of sharing that virus, share the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Very funny, Jason.
Yeah. Share the podcast, because we trying to change. Spread a little love in every little community. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate y'all, man. So any last words, babe?
Nope, that's it.
So do you believe love is blind?
I do, but that's not all that you need to make a relationship work.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. Okay. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all for hanging in there, man. Catch y'all next time, and we'll catch you later. When there's love, there's peace. And when there's peace, there's progression. Holler!
You've been listening to the Loveology Podcast. Did you have fun with us today? Tell a friend about our show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep the conversation going. Be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Visit us at loveologypodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, Loveologists.